Welcome, one and all, to HorrorBuzz Live. It appears I am still slightly frozen, so forgive me. Tonight we have a very interesting show. We are going to be covering a number of things, including the entertainment information for everything horror, movies, and events that are coming up this week. And of course, that's going to be given to us by Lindsey on the entertainment beat. And then we have our nice little crew who is about to cover Sundance. Oh my God! What's wrong with me? South by Southwest. Yes, forgive me, South by. They'll never have us back. We're going to have a small little group that's going to be talking about some of the highlights from South by Southwest 2021 and what we expect to cover next week. All right. Now, before we get started, please do me a favor and like and subscribe. If you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe and hit the little subscription button, and you'll get the little alerts when the new shows are coming up. Also, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. And if you really like us, follow us on Patreon. Search for us there, and you can throw us a little bit of change. Another thing, we are always looking for people to join our team. We still have plenty of room in looking for people to help us review films. We get tons of films, and we want to give everybody equal coverage, but we're a little overwhelmed. So if you want to join the team, review movies, tell people what you think about it, or maybe video games, or even books, escape rooms when those come back. We are here. This is what we do, and we are here to share what we love with our readers. So if you want to share in the fun with us, please go to the site and click on the button that says "Want to join the HorrorBuzz team." We are there, and we're waiting to hear from you. So, with all that housekeeping done, we are going to bring in Lindsey.
Hey, everybody.
How are you this
And,
week?
I am doing fine. I'm feeling good. I have on the list, I have an appointment to get my first vaccine shot. So I'm pretty excited about that. I know, light at the end of the
Woo!
tunnel. I know. And it's really great to see, we are starting to see things opening back up very slowly but surely. So every day gets a little better.
Wonderful. I mean, I'm so glad to hear that. So let's not upset anti-vaxxers too much here. And move on to the next subject.
Okay.
There's plenty more to
Well,
do than get a vaccine. Okay, so
yes. And
let's
here's
talk about
something
that.
here's something we can all get behind, movies and entertainment. Who doesn't like that? So we've got some good things coming out this week. On Thursday, March 11th, we have something called Stay Out of the Effing Attic, and it's coming out on Shudder, and it's about a group of ex-cons turned movers, and they are moving for this client. He's kind of old, kind of creepy, and he says, "I'll pay you more if you stay the night at my house." And they do, and things go wrong. So if that sounds good to you, that's coming out Thursday on Shudder. And also coming out on Thursday on Netflix, we have the Block Island Sound. And that's about a mysterious thing. They really are very vague on what that something is lurking off the coast of Block Island, and it's influencing the behavior of fisherman Tom. And he starts to suffer violent outbursts and puts his family in grave danger. So check that out on Netflix on Thursday. And on Friday, we have a couple more films coming, and both of them are going to be on video on demand streaming platforms. So whichever one you prefer, you're sure to find it there. We've got Honeydew, and this is about cravings and hallucinations that start to happen to a young couple after they seek shelter at the home of an aging farmer. Very mysterious. And then rounding out our movies, we have Come True. And this is about a teenage runaway, and she decides to take part in a sleep study, and it quickly becomes a descent into madness with frightening hallucinations and examination of power of dreams. So that's kind of like a psychological thriller that piques your interest, that is on video on demand. Now, for our events, we have a couple things going on. This Saturday in Southgate, we've got Halloween Depot. So Halloween Depot is a store based in Southgate, and they're hosting Horrorville, and that is a horror pop-up shop. So we have a couple special guests. We've got Butch Patrick of the Munsters and John Massari of Killer Clowns from Outer Space are going to be there for a little meet and greet action, socially distanced, of course. And we also have lots of different vendors. So the event is free, but come ready to spend your hard-earned cash on something spooky. We've got things like art, clothes, home decor, jewelry, purses, pouches, figurines, dolls, collectibles, handcraft goodies galore. So if you want to get your horror shopping on, be sure to check that out. And if you can't make it all the way to Southgate, if you're in the OC, or maybe if you're in NorCal and you want to make a drive but not too far, head on over to Anaheim. Spooksy Boo Events is continuing their Halloween Town pop-up shop as well, and that is at the Garden Walk in Anaheim, and it's from 3 to 9 p.m. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the Southgate event, the Horrorville event, is from 12 to 6. And Spooksy Boo event is from 3 to 9 p.m. and they will have something similar with photo ops and little vendors and food items that you can purchase. Admission is free, but reservations are required for this event. Reservations are not required for Horrorville, but for this one, reservations are required. So make sure you go to Spooksyboo, SPOOKSIEBOO events.com and you can make your reservations. And rounding out our events, we have Redemption Room. So I mentioned this last week, and it's an online live immersive theater experience where you get to decide the fate of 6 fallen social media icons. And basically, you watch their trial and you can vote yes or no. And I'm not sure what yes or no means. It obviously means something bad. And an unknown evil gets unleashed during these trials. And it's very audience friendly. So one audience member every night will get to compete with the celebrities, and you can vote, you can judge, you can contact the celebrities directly, and you have an outcome on the experience. So that's $21.99 per ticket. And it's running until March 13th. So there are a couple days left, and it's an international event. So when you purchase your tickets, be sure to click the correct time zone, and that you can purchase at secrettheaters.com.
That is awesome. Okay, Honeydew is actually one that I heard about, and my first question is, why would anybody go to a farmer's house? And I mean, like, that's horror 101. You just don't do that.
I mean, but I will refer you. I don't even know what company it is, but that commercial where I think it's Progressive, where it's like
not a sponsor, by the way. Full disclosure.
Oh no, we're not sponsored, but like just saying if you want,
But if you
just kidding. But like the teens are like scared and they're shaking and they're in the room with all the chainsaws or whatever, and they're
yeah.
Right, and the Leatherface-esque guy like rolls his eyes before he goes to chop him up. It's the same thing, right? I mean, like the horror world is just it's a savannah for bad decisions. So
well, that's a lovely way to put it.
Yeah.
And so thank you so much for that breakdown. And yeah, there's plenty to do, guys. I know it's March, but there's still plenty to see and do. Thank you so much, Lindsey, for breaking this all down for us. And we will see you. I don't know. Maybe we'll see you later on in the show.
We'll see.
Who knows? You never know on this.
Anything can happen on HorrorBuzz Live.
Okay, thanks a lot, Lindsey. As I said before, if you want to join the team, here we are. I'm going to post this in the comments right here. Please follow the link, fill out the form. Just let us know what you like to cover. It's about having some fun and sharing what you think with others. Also, again, follow us. Well, obviously, you're following us on Facebook. But yeah. Please, we'd love to hear from you. Now, another thing that we're going to be covering, as I pointed out before, is South by Southwest. That starts next week. I believe it's the 17th, and we have an entire team, including myself, going to cover everything Midnighters. There are about 8 Midnighters films and another handful of Midnighters shorts. And with that, we have myself, we have Adrian, we have Kyle, and we have Miranda, and we are all getting ready to cover South by Southwest. How are you guys?
Excited.
Oh my gosh. So this isn't as daunting a task as Sundance, but South by seems like it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. Because this is one of those festivals that covers not only film, but there's a comedy festival and there's a music festival, and so there's going to be quite a bit. But what I wanted to do was just let people know to keep an eye out for that. But I wanted to ask you guys maybe what are some of the things that you are really interested in covering? Maybe one film that you're really looking forward to. Let's go ahead and start with you, Adrian.
Okay. So there's a long list of stuff at South by, so there's not going to be any shortage of like interesting stuff to watch. So there's a lot of things to be excited about, but what never fails for me is the cryptid stuff, So I saw that there was a Sasquatch one coming up. When I saw the emails, like, I got to start looking that one up. So I'm expecting good things from that one. The more I read, I was like, Duplass Brothers, Sasquatch, Weed, Murder Mystery are some of the highlights from the synopsis that I got. So that one looked interesting. It's directed by the guy, Joshua Fay. He did the Lorena Bobbitt True docuseries on Amazon.
Ooh.
And then that one was good. And then it's executive produced by the Duplass brothers too. So, they're South by regulars. They did Puffy Chair way back then. And
Puffy Chair, so good.
Yeah. I think that one. I was just out of high school, so that must have been like early 2000s. I think that was one of their like first movies.
Yeah.
And I think that was at South by too. So they're, old guys at this festival. And so this one is going to be good from them. They executive produced it, and, they're good at documentaries because they did all those Netflix ones over the last 5 years or so. They did like 3, I think. So should be good. This one looks like a 3-part series, and I think they're just showing one episode at South by. So it's just kind of whet my appetite for it, I guess. But it's Pacific Northwest, Pot Farm, Murder Mystery, Sasquatch.
What's not to love? Tell me.
Yeah, exactly. It's really
good. Excellent. Well, one thing that I am personally looking forward to is something called The Spine of Night. Now, this is a film that is kind of a flashback to those old 70s adventure animation movies, kind of like the Ralph Bakshi stuff. And of course, it's about somebody who gets a hold of power from some strange source and then sends mankind into just years and years of suffering and oppression. It stars but here's the cool thing: it's an animated film, rotoscoped, and it features the voices of Richard E. Grant, Lucy Lawless, Patton Oswalt, Betty Gabrielle, Joe Manganiello, Abby Savage, horror staple Larry Fessenden, and Rob McClure. And it just seems like they describe it as something that is super ultra violent, which I'm in. But also super stylized and, really like Watership Down, Fire and Ice, heavy metal type stuff. So I'm eager to see how something like this got made and how it turned out. That's definitely something that I'm going to be looking forward to and covering. And so with that being said, Miranda, what do you have to look forward to in covering South by?
Well, kind of building on what we were talking about earlier with Sasquatch, South by has always a wonderful slew of documentaries. And one of the documentaries that I'm most excited to watch is about Alien on Stage, which is a group of bus drivers from Dorset in the UK, have a small amateur dramatics group. and they decide to forego their other plans and put on their own production of Alien, which they take very seriously, and no one else does.
Alien on stage.
Yes, Alien on stage. And so they get their big one-night engagement of a stage production of Alien, which is like my dream. So I can't wait to see what that looks like, especially from an amateur dramatic group. You know, combine Alien and Waiting for Guffman, and I'm in. So.
Oh my God! Does Corky Sinclair have any musical numbers in the? Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
Yes, with the.
Yes.
Oh my God! Well, yeah, that's actually one that I'm looking forward to as well. It just seems just so charming, like Our Gang. You know, like, hey, everybody, let's put on a big show. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, against all odds, it just sounds kind of exactly what theater is supposed to be. So, Kyle, it is your turn to talk, and somehow I'm frozen here. Oh, here we go. It's your turn to chat. Let's talk about what you would like to see at South by, what you're going to be covering.
All right, so let's talk about off-season. This movie is really interesting looking because there's so little information about it. If you go and pull up press releases, there is almost nothing, and the only synopsis is one sentence. It is, after receiving a mysterious letter, a woman travels to a desolate island town and soon becomes trapped in a nightmare. So there's almost nothing to go off of there, but there are some documents that say that it is a Southern Gothic. And I'm really interested in this because it stars Richard Brake, who is just a great character actor for like Scumbags and things like that. He's been in like Mandy, he's been in 31, all of Rob Zombie's stuff. Also really cool, it stars Melora Walters and Jocelyn Donahue, who you might remember from Dr. Sleep really recently and from Ty West's House of the Devil. So got an interesting horror cast there. And I think there's just a lot of places for it to go.
Wow, Richard Brake, huh?
Yeah.
I actually got to interview him. He is one of the nicest guys. He's just so cool, you know. Do you have any idea what type of a part he plays, other than maybe he just plays what he usually does?
So the title of his character is the Bridge Man, which gives me almost nothing. But that's also another thing that draws me to this movie is that a lot of the cast just have these vague descriptors instead of names, like Man from the Sea, or like the Fisherman is like the fourth character.
Kind of character.
Well, we know he is a man with a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we have that going for us. Yeah, and there's going to be a host of other things that the four of us end up covering. But yeah, these are the ones that we're really eager to watch and check out and hopefully give you our opinion on. So with that, thank you guys so much. Everyone, make sure to be looking for our coverage of South by Southwest starting next week. I believe it's the 17th, isn't it? Oh, let me look. Does it say on my background? No, it doesn't.
16.
I think it's
16.
Oh, thanks, Kyle. Yes, because I'm so prepared. The 16th is when the festival starts, and we're allowed to post our reviews 2 hours after the film starts. So keep an eye out. Hey, Jacob, how's it going? We have some people popping in to say hello. Jacob Van Gundy. Gary, hey, Gary. Okay, so thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week, and we'll have a roundup the following week of our amazing adventures at South by. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you so much for popping in. We'll see you next time, okay?
Bye.
All right, bye. Oh, Kyle. That guy's so awesome. Okay. Gory Bits, hey, how's it going? Let us know what you want to see on the show. Let us know just how you're doing. Let's get everybody involved here. However, next up, what we're going to be, and I'm frozen again, aren't I? Damn it. So who we have next is our new video game or games editor on the site. You may have seen her very brief cameo earlier. when I accidentally added her to the stream. And it's Leslie.
Hi.
Hey,
I
how's
was
it
so
going?
worried that was just me being an idiot.
Oh man. So you know what? We don't do it perfectly, but boy, do we try.
We have fun.
So you know what? That's all that we'll ever do. That's it. So I asked you to come on and talk about some of the latest video game news because, as everyone should know by now, we cover video games. Well, we cover games in general. That includes board games, escape rooms, and of course, right now, because of the pandemic, the ever popular video game. And we have some recent information that Devon is going to be sharing with us. So, Devon, what recent news and reviews have popped up on the site?
So we did just do Kill It With Fire. That was released on Steam back last year in August. But recently, it was just ported on the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, and the Nintendo Switch. It's literally just as chaotic as it sounds. You are a Kill It With Fire exterminator, and you go traverse the world, and you help rid the world of these absolutely insane species of spiders. You get all the different weapons that you could think of, whether that be a flamethrower, or you could get like a bag of Cheetos and start like throwing them on the floor and use it as a bait. And it's really cool. So we just reviewed that. And then we also just reviewed Alien Life Simulator. That just came out like 2 weeks ago on Steam Early Access. That's a roguelite. It's an alien life simulator. Like, it's quite literally what the name says. You live your life as an alien, and you go and try to rid the world of other bad types of aliens. And it's really cool. They've got this new mechanic where you like control your alien's emotions, and that kind of determines how NPCs react with you. That kind of determines everything about the game is dependent on these emotions. And it's really, really cool to see such a unique take on a simulator like that.
Now, what's the difference? Forgive me for asking, but early access versus release.
So early access means that the game is still in development as we speak. You can go and still purchase the game and be able to play it, but that is not the final cut, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Copy that. Okay. Sorry. Proceed. Sorry.
You're fine. We have a couple other games that are due to be coming up later in the month that I'm really excited about. We have Black Legend that's supposed to be coming out on March 25th. That looks absolutely amazing. It looks so cool. You're set in the 17th century, and you know there's this mysterious fog, and you have to determine why this fog, which is killing all the civilians, you have to figure out where it's coming from and why it even exists in the first place. And that's coming out on pretty much every big gaming platform right now, which is amazing to see. We love to see that.
Awesome.
So we're going to be seeing that on both PlayStations, both Xboxes, the Switch, and Steam. And it looks really amazing.
Super cool.
And then we also have Monster Hunter Rise, which everybody knows of a Monster Hunter series at this point. And this new one that's supposed to be coming out March 26th. Oh my God. This looks so good. Like, genuinely, if I did not have a Switch already, I'd be buying a Switch just for this game.
Oh my God.
It looks amazing, and it's going to be a great addition to the series.
So we're going to definitely be reviewing all of those and letting you know which ones to jump on right away, yeah?
100%. Like, we will be updating as we get more news for sure.
Awesome. So again, I suppose I should share the screen with you. Thank you so much for that breakdown.
Of course.
And again, everybody, if you want to join our team and review games, you're going to have to get through Devon first, and she's a pretty tough cookie. But she's amazing. So again, thank you, Devon, so much for that breakdown. And again, you can find all these articles and these reviews on HorrorBuzz.com. And we will hopefully see you next week or the week after. All right, Devon?
Sounds good. See you then.
All right, man. Thank you so much. And let's see here. Where are we? Am I frozen again? Again, I'm frozen, I bet you. There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh man. I'm going to start a fundraiser for my computer. Okay, cool. Well, listen, that is the end of our show for this week for HorrorBuzz Live. We wanted to make sure that you were fully informed, that you knew what was coming up with South by, that you knew what was coming up with entertainment and horror and things to do, even during a pandemic. And yeah, and then we have our video games too. So please visit the site. And if you love what you're seeing, subscribe to the newsletter and join us every week at 7 right here. And like and subscribe that, and we will all see you next week. You know what? Let's get a big curtain call from everybody. Oh, come on! Let's all wave goodbye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.